continuing to wave the flag of sackcloth for humility. I'm Mel McGinnis with this week's edition of the Sophie Scholl Monologue, Strangulation or Innovation? Which is it? I'll get to that in a moment. But in an article by the Associated Press, we hear the new EPA, Environmental Protection Agency director, say the most consequential day of deregulation in American history. Yes, Lee Zeldin is rolling back landmark environmental regulations that have been upon us, which limit, stifle coal-fired powered plants and unstraps industry from being confined by climate change regulations. In fact, to show how dramatic this is, Zeldin said, "We are driving a dagger through the heart of climate change religion and ushering in America's golden age." Climate change does get pretty religious. Some of these enthusiasts that are out there pushing this agenda seem to be very religious about it. And I appreciate Lee Zeldin saying that they're driving a dagger through the heart of climate change religion. Now, it's not going over well with everyone. Of course, those who have been funded so well by the government for their climate change agenda. In fact, $20 billion from the previous administration has been uncovered for handouts to climate change enthusiasts like Stacey Abrams, getting $2 billion for her organization or an organization she's associated with when that organization had revenues of about $100. Something smells. And I appreciate the fresh air of this new administration coming in to sweep out the stench that has been in the sewer system, so to speak, within the Environmental Protection Agency. Here's what it's about. Lee Zeldin says, first would say, it's not about abandoning environmental protection. It's about achieving it through innovation, not strangulation. Innovation is the key, not only to elevating our status with respect to our energy policies and having energy independence restored to the point where we have energy dominance, but it's also about protecting the environment. Innovation, not strangulation. It's kind of like here America abides by these climate change rules so that we end up importing oil from Venezuela, which is dirtier than our own oil, which we wouldn't have to import if we were energy independent, and the oil we would burn would be cleaner than Venezuela's. It's kind of like the tariff battle that we see afoot in our nation. Think about how much we're charged in tariffs towards other countries, not just Canada and Mexico, but what about the European Union? Astronomical tariffs put on our products. So what the president has done is initiate tariff reciprocity. If you put tariffs on our goods for this amount, we're going to reciprocate by putting them at the same amount you do on our products. I think that's a novel idea, but I think it will be very effective in eventually lowering the tariffs, or at least building up our budgets with what we've allocated for spending in our country. And wouldn't it be something? I know he threw it out there. If the Internal Revenue Service was changed to the ERS, External Revenue Service, through tariffs. If I had to choose one or the other, I would choose the ERS over the IRS. But in any event, what we see Lee Zeldin saying is the environmental protection isn't about abandoning the environment as it is achieving our protection of the environment through innovation, not strangulation. I know it's going to get controversial among certain circles, but what we see happening in our new administration is putting forth the ideas and policies that will make America progress, not regress, which hopefully will address the level of debt and deficits we've been dealing with in our country. And though there may be bumps along the way, in the long run, I think it will be beneficial more than what's been done, especially through the previous administrations of Biden and Obama. Well, unlike Tony Kornheiser of Pardon the Interruption, I cannot promise you that I'll do better the next time, and unlike Tony, I'm going to wave this flag. The flag of sackcloth for humility. As a follower of Jesus, I, Mel McGinnis, need Jesus. Bye for now.